And a lady, I was too afraid to make mistakes, so I wouldn't cook. And so she said, baby, you got to make some mistakes if you're going to get it right. So I said, yes, ma'am. So I started baking. I made a lot of mistakes until I got it right and got it the way I want to. I rarely use it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Can't Tell Us Nothing show. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah. The sounds you're hearing are the sounds of Can't Tell Us Nothing, an improv group out of Houston, Texas. In Can't Tell Us Nothing, you have 4 wonderful individuals. One of those people is Tandy. Another is John. That's right. You can't forget Amici.
Hey, everybody.
It's trademark.
So diverse group.
And then myself, Antoine. And what is the Can't Tell Us Nothing show? The Can't Tell Us Nothing show is a show where we take discussions, topics, opinions, turn it into improv scenes right on the spot, make them up as we go. We don't know what we're going to say. You don't know what we're going to hear. To help inspire us, we usually bring a special guest. Today is one of those days. Tandy, would you like to introduce our special guest?
Yes, I will. Today's special guest is a woman about town, a woman on a mission, who I have the honor and pleasure of calling my cousin, Miss Kyree Land. Yay!
Yay!
Kyree is a native Houstonian. She grew up on the north side, but we're not going to hold that against her. And she's a graduate of Prairie View A&M. How's that? And most importantly, she is a self-taught baker. She bakes. She has a home-based baking business called Sugarlick that we're going to talk about.
Yes.
That's Kyree. Did I get it?
You got it all. That's it.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Tell us more about Sugarlick. What is?
Oh.
Yeah. What is it?
Yeah.
Well, Sugarlick is the name that I came up with. My sister helped me out. There's a sugar rush out here, but we figured why not just have some fun and call it Sugarlick. So I try to do different things, same thing, but I put a different spin on it. So I've got cheesecake. My cheesecake is my thing. Cheesecake with a pecan pie on the inside of it. I have a peach cobbler cheesecake, and right now I'm experimenting on something that I'll come out and I'll say what it is. I guess I'll go ahead and say it on here, and that's going to be a sock it to me cheesecake. So I do a little bit of different stuff. So if anybody wants to see my work, I invite you to come and find my page on Instagram. I post everything on there. It's KB Land _Sugarlick. And it's just like it sounds, Sugarlick.
What made you focus on like the cheesecake? Like what about the cheesecake made you go, here's where I'm gonna, do my creativity? Excuse me. Was there like, is that something that you just kind of stumbled across? Is it something you're more personally connected to as far as cheesecake, or you just the dopest at making, that you've ever met?
Well, I tell you what happened. I very briefly owned a restaurant, and all my desserts cost the same price, but everybody came back for the Sugarlick. When you have somebody tell you that you've never seen before, that's not your race, tell you that this is the best cheesecake I've ever had in my life, and I love cheesecake. Yeah, I just said, yeah, this is what I needed to hear. Kind of boosted my ego a little bit, so I got a little chip on my shoulder because of it.
Oh my gosh, she makes that lemon meringue cheesecake. it's the best. I like cheesecakes, but that lemon meringue cheesecake I buy one every year. Well, when we were still in the office, I buy it for my birthday and just bring it. Even though I was off work, I just buy the cheesecake and bring it to the people because we had it one time, and every year they'd say, "Are we gonna get cheesecake again? Are we gonna get the cheesecake?"
They're asking you for cake on your birthday?
On my because I
Your
don't
day
work.
off.
I don't work that day, but I'll
Call her on her day off. Hey, you can come into the office on your
Yeah.
birthday and bring us cake.
Some of the cake.
yes, it is so good.
But
So
hey,
good.
that's quite an honor to be like the birthday tradition cake, like the
Mm.
cake people go to on a day like that.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
What's
That's
so
pretty
great
cool.
about it is you're a cousin, you get a cake for your birthday. So you just look on Facebook. If it's a relative, we're like, I'll just wait till they post a picture of the Kyree cake later, and I'll see what kind they got. Like, oh, my cousin made me this cake. We all get the cake. It's just so sweet. I meant to let you know that. I was like, that is just so. It's just beautiful. Just a beautiful thing.
Aw.
Now, through our background research from your cousin, she told us that you had at one point, or still do, a cheesecake that cost $75.
Well, I kind of dropped the price down just a little bit, 10 whole dollars. But if you ask me to deliver, just add it right back on there. So, no, I do have actually the one that is the pecan pie now is that price. Rest of my cheesecakes are basically $50. So, you know.
Yeah.
Well, Tandy definitely speaks high volumes about it. We've been hearing your baking without even knowing exactly who you were for at least a year now, or a little more than that. So how did you get into just being self-taught? What inspired you to just pick up the ingredients and start trying new things?
Well, I tell you, my mom, the term self-taught has to be used lightly. My mom actually cooked, and I watched her do what she did. So I moved to Mississippi for a while, kind of deep south, and a lady, I was too afraid to make mistakes, so I wouldn't cook. And so she said, baby, you got to make some mistakes if you're going to get it right. So I said, yes, ma'am. So I started baking. I made a lot of mistakes until I got it right and got it the way I want to. I rarely use a recipe now. I just kind of come up with my own stuff and just do it. So when I left there, she left me with some a bread pudding recipe that my family never ate bread pudding. I refused to eat it because I didn't like the taste and the consistency of it. Yeah. I got here and I told her I needed the measurements, and she goes, baby, you got to put some love in that. I'm like, I know what love is, but it don't go in my bread pudding. So I said, okay, we're going to figure this out. I figured it out. And I gave some to my family who refused to eat it, just like I had refused to eat it. I asked them to please try it. For me, they tasted a little bit of it, tasted a little bit more, and then they said, do you have some more? I said, no, y'all greedy. I'm not going to give you all of it. But they tried it, and they thought it was really good. So I said, okay, if I can pick this up by not having measurements and just throwing stuff in there, I can do anything. I felt like I could. So now I have my little business started on my own, and I also do pop-up markets. So that way, if you want to give it a test, you can come out to the pop-up market. When I do them, I'm doing one the second Saturday in October and the second Saturday in November at the Buffalo Soldiers Museum in Houston downtown. So second Saturdays 1 to 5. And I'll be there, like I said, October, November, and I'll have them individually. So if you want to give it a try before you buy the whole thing, you're welcome to come out and pay for just a slice of it.
Wow, that's
who was that woman in Mississippi? I like to imagine that woman in Mississippi was just a woman in Mississippi, just on the street.
I worked for a private club, and she cooked there. So yeah.
Okay.
It was an older lady.
All right. It's interesting that she wouldn't give you measurements because I've heard that, and you can tell me whether or not this is true, but I've heard that if you're the type of person who folds their socks, you should be a baker. If not, you should be a chef. Like baking, you got to have things to be kind of exact in order to get the thing right. Is that true? Is there any truth to that idea?
I don't fold my socks, so no. There are some things I would say, yes, you need to measure, but there's some stuff I just throw together, and it just, it just comes out the way it comes out. Usually it's pretty good.
Are you consistent with like the throwing the ingredients so like it comes out exactly the same way, or do you throw it together and then it gets better every time?
Yes and yes. So I'll if I throw something together and it's consistent, that's fine. If it's better, that's wonderful. So it doesn't get worse because I kind of know what I threw in there the last time to make it right.
I like that. We cut to a steakhouse. Excuse me, waiter. Your name is Antoine, right?
Oh, well, yes, it is. Do you need some water?
No, I was just cutting to the steak here and took a bite out of it, and I think it's missing a little bit of love. I felt it was very resentful when I bit into it. I don't know if it was something going on back in the kitchen or if the cow that you butchered had some depression or something, but when I just bit into it, man, I just got the wave of negativity. It just came over my body, and I don't want a negative steak. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry. Maybe I don't understand. Are you saying that the steak is cold? Like you want it to be heated up a bit, or is it not rare enough?
This steak is not just cold. I mean, it's like cold shoulder, right? It doesn't have that feeling when you bite something good, it wants you to eat it. This thing's like, you can care less if I eat it, man. And, I just think that you could just take it back there, give it to the chef, do what y'all do, pray over it or something, but it's missing something.
I'll be right back. Let me get the steak out of your way.
All right, thanks, sir. Thanks.
Hey, Amici?
Yep.
Hey, a customer just sent the steak back because it tasted resentful. Is everything okay at home?
Okay. I gotta get back some. You know how I like to take the cows back to my house before we butcher them for the restaurant?
Yeah. You load them up in your truck and you take them on home every night.
Yeah, take them home. We hang out in the backyard. We play games. We have a really good time, and we really bond before we kill them, so we can eat them. But okay. Yeah, I've stopped doing that. I didn't do that with these last few cows.
What?
Yeah.
But why? Those cows have been the reason this restaurant had been doing gangbusters. What you were doing with those cows was revolutionary. What is this resentful steak you're serving now? Why'd you change it?
Well, my wife said no more cows at home.
The wife.
Yeah.
It's always the wife that staunches brilliance, isn't it?
No, but I mean, she's right. I wasn't spending any time with her. I was just hanging out in the backyard. I'll come home. I wouldn't even go in the house. I was just staying outside, and our marriage was falling apart. So I gotta focus on that.
Okay, well, you can focus on your marriage, and I'm just a waiter. But if management hears about this, you may not have to focus on your job anymore if you catch my drift. You need to work it out with your wife. What?
You think they'll fire me over this?
Over the steak? If there's more people out there who bite into a steak and feel a wave of negativity rushing through their body, they're never going to come back. So fix your marriage or lose your job.
My marriage is fixed. I've been spending. We're rock solid again. But now the steaks are bad. So
yeah. So fix the steaks.
So ruin my marriage and fix the steaks.
And ruin, yes. You need to make a decision. I got to get back out there and refill some waters.
What am I gonna do? We cut to the chef back home. Hey, honey, Tandy,
Hey, how are you? Sit on down. Take a
And,
look.
I know it's a nice date night, but I gotta actually go out into the yard, hang out in the back.
Again.
Yeah, I mean,
We got past this, Amici, okay?
Uh-huh.
The cows were tearing us apart. Our marriage was in shambles. You said, you're right. I'm putting the cows away. I'm going to focus on us. And things have been great.
Mhm.
Did you bring a cow with you?
I did.
Amici. Are the cows making comments about what's going on here?
Yeah, I mean,
Have you been telling?
I,
Have you been telling the cows about us on your way home? Have you been talking about our relationship with those cows?
We cut to the restaurant. Excuse me, waiter.
Yeah, you need some more water?
Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you for inviting us back for this free meal on Ruth Chris. I don't want to be a stickler, but I bit into this steak.
Okay.
I didn't feel love again. All right. I felt something a little bit different, more like angst and anxiety. Like I felt like I bit into this steak and I showed up at a place I wasn't unwanted, man. I don't know what's going on with the steak, man, but I'm gonna have to take my wife out of here and go down the street, man. I can't keep eating this emotional piece of steak.
No, please, sir, please don't leave. Don't leave. We appreciate your feedback. We want to make sure we get this right. The chef has been going through some things at home, and it may be finding its way into the food. Would you like 20 mini cheesecakes in order to maybe while you wait for us to sort this out?
20 mini cheesecakes?
Yeah, just about.
Of course, I want 20 mini cheesecakes. I mean, that was what I was going to ask for after the steak. All right.
We come back to the kitchen. Amici,
what?
I still got patrons out there complaining that there's angst and unwantedness in the food. I thought you were gonna fix this. I thought you were gonna fix your marriage and fix your life. Why is that so hard?
Okay, here's what happened. Like, my marriage is falling apart again. But my wife has now taken a liking to the cows. She hangs out with the cows. I'm just by myself in the backyard. They're in the house. I'm in the backyard. So nothing's fixed. Everything's broken. And I don't know what to do.
And scene. That's why you don't take your work home with you, unless you work from home.
Real.
Something is going on at his house and it's finding its way into the food. Amazing.
And of course, that's what the lady in Mississippi meant, right? Like,
Exactly.
to the food, it comes out in the food if your mind ain't right. Ain't no ingredients gonna make it taste good. If it's stress at home, you gotta be in a good mood. And no, I love that. My aunt, I love her to death. She is super OCD, man. You would think she ran a 5-star restaurant in her kitchen. I've seen her throw out whole batches of stuff if one of the things were burnt, right? She's like, nope, got to start all over. Something's wrong with that ingredients. I got to go down. I went to this store, but I got to go to that store because that store ain't getting it right. You know, I knew that waiter told me, you know, that person in there didn't know what they were talking about. But when she gives it to us, man, I mean, it's like, it's worth it, man. It's worth it. So I've always admired
The OCD is worth it.
Oh man, the OCD and her, yes. And she doesn't tell anybody the ingredients, and I think it's probably because she doesn't have like an actual ingredient list. She's probably done it so much that she could wake up and do that in her sleep, and it come out. She'll even throw the batch away in her sleep if it burned. You know, that's how like routine she is. But she still makes stuff, and she'll send the stuff on her birthday. She doesn't charge anybody. It's just her thing, you know.
I'm that way about like I think for certain recipes, especially baking stuff, like more measurements, like a cup of this or that. I figured like you got to do those kinds of things more or less. But like seasoning stuff, you know, a this or that. You got to season it till it looks right. My daughter just started recently cooking hamburgers. And so she's like, how much salt? I was like, don't touch it. Let me do it. You just like shake it in there. She's like, well, how much? You just got to shake it till it look right. I got to put it up in it look right. Don't worry about it. And so she's like, well, how am I going to learn? No, just watch me. You'll figure it out. You start looking right, then you know you seasoned it right.
No, it's
just
good.
like you got to season. You just till it looks right.
Till it looks right.
Taste too, but definitely look. You'll know. You know how much you put in there. It'll just look right.
Yep. Yep.
Kyree, is that true? Does that follow for a lot of things?
If it looks right,
Yeah.
Yeah, do you do
well, maybe for a steak or for a burger or something, but you got to do more than look right for a cake or something.
yeah, cake. No, that's what I'm saying. Cakes are different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cakes are-
yeah,
That kind of stuff.
yeah,
You
yeah.
earlier, did you say baking runs or cooking runs in your family? Like your mom did it?
Yes.
Is cooking a pretty big thing in your family, in your household, in your extended family? Like barbecue, baking, cooking, like is that a pretty major event for you guys?
Eating. That's the major event.
Oh,
Yeah, we do. We have big stuff. We like every year for Thanksgiving, we used to get together at my aunt's house. Everybody cook, or she do most of the cooking, bring it over, and we all just sit around and just enjoy each other's company. We're kind of close knit. So you know, just and that's how you do it around food. The kitchen is the heart of the house, really. So we get in, we cook together, we laugh, we talk. You know, your love is all in the food and everything. Then you get to sit down and eat and grub and talk some more. Yeah, we do that.
Remember the family reunion meeting? And like, because we have one aunt who makes a whole lot of stuff. But she, like, we have on Saturday is like fish fry, picnic, and you know, that kind of foods. But then Sunday's like the meal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Back door.
Barbecue and the fixings, and then it's like, you know, other foods and the fixing. It's a thing. So we had to vote. I remember we were voting because they were cutting back on how much stuff we had, and there was a vote. Okay, do we want Aunt Beatrice to make the field peas? Like nobody voted for field peas that year. I was so mad. I was the only vote out of the whole line. You know, we gotta,
that the ones you have to snap and click?
No,
the ones you have to snap?
well, not the snap, but the purple hull, kind of those.
Oh, like, that you gotta snap.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
man.
had to vote because it was so much stuff. She's like, we don't need all that food. We don't. All right, well, then vote.
Who made the decision that you don't need all the food? Who was the person, or was it like a unanimous thing?
I think we were like just trying to cut back because it was just so much food. They always had so much left over that they made. And so it was like, you know, we could save some money. Let's cut back on some of the things that we have there. Okay. So, you know, we had to go down the list. Who's in favor of barbecue? You know, all in favor of this, all in favor of that. And they were like,
vote for who got to bring the stuff. That's actually a pretty smart. Did anybody like not like how the vote went out in their favor? Like they were like, all right, everybody know I'm about to do this. And they was like, no, wait up. Uncle Jimmy actually got the vote for, like, did any of that happen?
No.
Everybody.
We kind of had the same people doing the same things just about every year. It was just either you were going to do this one or you're not going to do it that year.
Yeah. But
so.
We cut to two cousins at a recess between votes. So, John, I you know my ribs are on the chopping block next. We've been voting all day, and it's been a bloodbath in there. I just want to know that you got my back on this before we go back in there.
I mean, I know I got your back, man. I mean, you know what? You do this all the time.
You like my ribs, right?
Yeah, I love your ribs, man. They're really good. You know, you marinate them all night. You know, I've seen you watch YouTube videos to make sure you're comparing how they look versus how they taste, man. I got you, man.
I put a lot of work into making sure I can recognize the right amount of seasoning when I see it. All right.
Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
you, you know this is a major thing for me. I don't got a lot else going on in my life right now. These ribs, this time of year is a big deal for me.
I know, man, and I've been meaning to tell you, man. I think you're putting a lot of weight on it. You know, like me, I'm the baked beans guy. Look, my baked beans, you eat them or you don't, right? Don't matter to me. I'm gonna eat them, and you know that's how I feel. You know, but I got a whole lot of other stuff going on in my life, so baked beans ain't the most important thing. But for you, I know
Yeah.
it's big, you know, but just don't put a lot of weight on it, man. I heard Amici's gotta try some new stuff for ribs, man. I've been hearing it in the family group chat. He's trying out dry rub.
Yeah, Amisha's been hating on my ribs since day one. I don't know why he's been against me and my ribs for this long.
I mean, you get voted every year, you know. I mean, in his eyes, he's just trying to make sure that you on top of your game. You need people like Amici.
I don't need that stress. We're about to go back in there. Calm people back in.
Come back to the all right, everybody, come on. Sit on down. Now we got up to the meats. All right. The voting has been pretty stiff. We waded through, we made it through the desserts. We got all the sides figured out, and we down to the meats. Antoine, you've been holding us down with these ribs.
Why you gotta open like that?
No.
I thought it was just a vote.
The ribs are falling off the bone, man. We look forward to it. But everybody, I just want y'all to know this year, Amici has come up with something different. Amici has figured out how to put ribs in the middle of a brisket, marinate it for 1 week, and smoke it for 20 hours.
He got Frankenstein ribs.
That ain't right. That is not the way ribs are supposed to be. You don't put a bone in the middle of a brisket. You don't put a rib in the middle of what is that ridiculousness? That is an abomination, and it should not be here. I am against it. I know we have an open voting, but I just want to say that I find it horrendous.
But it works. I mean, nobody tried it yet, but I promise it works.
And technically, Amici qualifies it as a rib, and ribs do have bones.
Mm-hmm.
Qualified as a brisket, I'm sorry, you probably would have got disqualified from the vote. So I say, let it stay.
Yeah.
That's what I
never have.
With the juiciest ribs.
Wait, let's hear what John has to say.
Am I supposed to vote right now?
We'll wait for them to call it. Sorry, I interrupted.
Oh, that's fine, Cousin John. You go, speak your piece. If you're in support of a rib only, go ahead and say that. But again, I'd like to advocate that we try something new. We have a rib with a little brisket on it, but it's still a rib.
Okay. Can I take 5? I got to talk to Antoine about something. We didn't need to finish the conversation we had.
We haven't voted yet. Take your time.
Okay, all right. Hey, yeah, come on, Antoine. I'm gonna talk to you for a second.
Sure, yeah.
All right.
What do you mean you gotta talk to me? It's that simple. You just vote for my rib. That's all you gotta do.
Man, Antoine put my Amici put my favorite things together, man. You see that bone? I mean, I know your ribs, they fall off the bone.
That's right.
Brisket falls off the ribs, man. Oh my God. I ain't never seen nothing like that, man. You gotta come up with something better, man. You got a firecracker or something you put in the ribs? Cause I can't go against this. I need that brisket.
You said you had my back.
I did, man. I was trying to buy time, man. I didn't know he brought a Frankenstein rib out here.
Don't let that freaking nature sway you, okay? He is putting things together that should not be together. You have brisket on one side, rib on the other. Sometimes you feel the ribs, sometimes you feel the brisket. You needs to do both. What he's doing there is crossing the line, all right? It is against nature, okay? Are you seeing this? I can't believe I have to have this conversation.
Okay.
You know how important this is to me. I was going to bring these ribs to my kids. Try to win them back.
You're right.
If they see Amici's ribs, they're never going to come back to me.
I'm sorry, man. I forgot you were still battling for custody over your kids, man.
And my ribs are one of my major points.
I know your kids only come over to try your ribs. It's a tough decision, man, but I got your back, man. You can count. I just want to tell you how I felt. Okay. All right. Let's together. Let's go back in this room. All right.
Hold on. I got a rib in my pocket. Do you wanna eat it real quick? Just to
Can you
so
take
you
that
run.
lint off of it a little bit? And,
Yeah, sure. I can do it.
all right. Thanks, man. Man.
Still good, right?
Man.
Let's go. All right, let's go back in.
All right.
All right. Thank y'all for coming back. I'm so sorry. While y'all were gone, I didn't even describe everything correctly. You pulled me to the side.
Man.
Let me know that I didn't really describe it. He said, please forgive me, Amici, and correct me if I'm wrong, that he did put ribs inside a brisket, but in between each rib is a sausage, smoked sausage, that he himself has come up with a wonderful recipe for, and he wants us all to try. So again, it's ribs with sausage in between the ribs, stuffed into a brisket. Now that's all the meats almost. I mean,
Also, the whole thing was wrapped in bacon.
Oh man.
Cliche. That's been done. Wrapping it in bacon.
Oh, well, before we place this vote, I think Antoine has something in his chest that might, get us to look at his ribs in a different light, Antoine.
Yeah, I do. I'm surprised by all of you. I've been providing ribs for this family since we've been doing this thing, since we've been celebrating Thanksgiving like we do. And I've perfected it over years and years. And my life ain't great right now. I got fired 2 years ago. My kids left me. My dog ran away. My house burnt down. But I still got these ribs. I still got what they represent.
Man, so go ahead. Just go ahead. I'm just
saying. Don't be swayed by the flash and the newness and just freakish nature of all of those animals combined to a single mound of meat. Think about the purity of the ribs and the purity of the relationship with his family. Think about your love for me when you vote. That's just all I got to say. That's all I got to say. I yield my time.
Okay. And Michi, you got a final word?
Yeah, while he was talking there, I figured out how to add cheese to this.
And scene. You figured it out.
Man, only in Texas.
when you put some cheese on it, it raises the stakes.
Cheese on ribs.
Cheese, bacon, sausage on.
That's how you get people's buy-in. You want cheese on that? Yes, please.
Yes.
I used to say they put cheese on anything. Like you paying for your casket. You want cheese on that? Yes.
Wow, I know there's a cheese option. Yeah, I'll try that.
Yeah. Does it come inside the casket or on top? Well, mine's in on both.
On anything. Yeah. Upsell. I figured out how to put cheese on it. Yes.
Awesome. Well, so Kyree, you said that like one of the biggest ones for you was somebody least expected that would like what you did. It kind of boosted your ego. How much better have you become since you've gotten more confidence from people in liking your cheesecake? Like, does confidence have a big part in like the outcome of what you do? Is it like, try to figure out how to word it, but yeah.
Definitely. It does, because like I said, when I had the restaurant, it actually boosted my ego to hear somebody say that. So now I sell with confidence, and I'm telling them, hey, this is how much it costs. You'll love it. And I'll explain everything to them, and people will try it. I'm not one that'll try anything that anybody else makes. I'm just like that. But I know I put all my little love and everything inside of it, like she said to do. And I'm pretty confident in what I sell. You know, and if somebody, and I also guarantee everything that I do. So if somebody has something that I made and they don't like it, I'll return it, or I'll make it right, or either you can choose something else, or I can give you your money back. No big deal to me.
Like that in a restaurant, like guarantee like your product. To me, it I feel like you're all in, and if you're all in, I could work with you, right? You want it to be as good for your customers as possible.
Right.
I've met obviously some restaurants that don't really care about the customers, the ones I grew up with. But why the home-based business? Like what got you to say, you know what, I'm going to consolidate everything here? I know it's probably more cost efficient, but like what like how, like what's your idea of like how you're going to continue to like just, you know, move cakes and stuff out of the house, right? Like, do you have like delivery pickups? Do you have Cash App, straight cash? Like how do you operate it from the home?
Okay, so I started doing this out of my home when my restaurant did not succeed. So and there were several factors into that, but I said, okay, I still enjoy doing what I do, and there were still people contacting me that had been at the restaurant that still had my phone number, and they wanted the products that I had. So I wasn't gonna stop doing that just because the restaurant didn't make it. So now I do it and I enjoy it still. Want to eventually, I should be retiring in about next 12, 13 years or so. I want to have a small restaurant. I want to have a small place that people can come to, sit down, have some dessert and some coffee and chit chat, talk, catch up with your friends or what have you, in a nice little environment. And that would be my place when I get that. As far as the reason I'm doing it that way now, because like you said, it's cost efficient. It's not the only thing that I do. I also work during the daytime. So it's just easier for me to come home and do my work at home versus going into a restaurant, because, you know, I can multitask while I'm doing that. So
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like your current oven and all that, like do you think it does the job the way you would have liked if in the restaurant to get like your cakes and stuff? Because I don't know anything about baking, but I know like I know that you probably want the oven of whatever your dreams is to make the types of product that you do. Like, is that something that you've seen to be like an issue, something that you like, man, this is an easy crossover, my stove does well. Stoves don't have anything to do with the outcome. You know, like just from a novice, like what is your take on that? You know,
I think I would like to have a convection oven. I have a standard oven that's doing the work right now. Eventually I'll get one. I think it does a little bit different with baking than a standard oven. But right now, my oven is sufficient, especially for those people who didn't have my product at the restaurant.
Gotcha.
So whenever that happens, you know, it'll just make it that much better. They'll be like, oh, that's wonderful. This tastes better than the last time. I know it. I know it.
No, that's dope. That's dope.
So it'll be that much better.
Like John, I'm not versed in baking at all. And love aside, what would you say is the most common mistake that you see when people bake, or what's something that people should make sure they always do when they bake?
Oh boy, I would say calibrate your oven.
What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
So a lot of people, so when you're cooking, there's different things for everything. Like if you have an elevated height, you have to adjust your temperature. If you know, up in the mountains, actually there's a difference with everything. But I had one friend tell me that they tried to make something, it didn't work out. And it turns out the oven was not calibrated, meaning that 350 degrees, you would stick a thermometer in there that's heat proof and make sure that oven goes up to 350 degrees. If it doesn't go up to 350 degrees, then your oven temperature is not matching the temperature that it should be. So it needs to be calibrated.
I always just trust my oven. I've never
Don't
I've never
trust
thought to
your
double check it.
You don't bake, do you?
No, no. I've made a banana bread like 3 times and that's it.
Yeah,
No,
I never
you-
even considered that as like a man.
I know.
It's 400, but it's really 200.
So how do you do it? Do you just like, do you use the thermometer and then just adjust manually whenever you bake, or is there a way you can actually adjust the oven itself?
Well, you can adjust it. I would say use your thermometer, put your oven on 350. If your thermometer comes out 325, put your oven on 375, and that should get you to your 350.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
But why would the oven people lie to us?
Why would the oven people lie to us?
Why would they make an oven that says 350 but it doesn't get to that? Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just sell a thermometer with an oven and just say, you want to get it to 350, just keep turning it and measuring, and when you get there, then you're there. Why would you lie? Why is
It's
that
the little elf workers. They don't all go to school. So, you know, some of them, Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus, just kind of helped. They were orphan elves. They were orphan elves. So, you know, you can't just trust that every elf will get it right on the calibration. They just didn't take the math classes like they should have.
We cut to the North Pole. Amici, can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah. What's going on?
I noticed you weren't at elf school today.
Yeah, you know, I don't need that stuff. I gotta work at Santa's place when I'm older in the workshop, so I don't need to go to school anymore. I know what I'm gonna be.
Everybody needs to go to school, elf school, to learn all the tricks of the trade. Maybe you can work in Santa's shop. That's like the highest caliber elf job there is. I would think you would need to go to school in order to get that. But maybe you can.
That's what I need to know. I'm good with a hammer.
You're good with a hammer?
Mm-hmm.
How about you be good with a wrench or with a screwdriver or with magic? Have you been practicing your magic?
No.
Look, I know that all of the elves that work for Santa drive Teslas and have great 401ks. But we also need our worker elves, you know, the elves that work in dishwashers and the elves that work in dryers and ovens. And I don't want you to look down on those jobs, all right? I want you to go to school, get your education, and then make your decision with all the tools available.
Okay.
Is this getting through to you? You're just nodding along. I want you to, am I getting through? What I'm saying is the Santa job is not guaranteed. I know it's a goal, but it's not guaranteed.
Okay, I'll start studying other stuff, I guess, but I don't want to.
We cut to Amici the elf 7 years later. Yeah, I know. I thought I was going to Santa's workshop too, but you know, when you don't spend time studying, you don't make it to the big time.
But why do you need to know math to use a hammer? I don't get it.
I know. I spent all my time using hammers. Thought I was real good with a hammer, but it's not serving me well as a computer elf. No, it's not. Not at all. And it won't serve you well here either. So I'm gonna just run the job down to you. We just run in and out of the computer, especially when they're doing like WebEx meetings or other kind of Zoom meetings, and we're responsible for making sure that they can hear good. Okay, we make sure that the sound works.
Okay.
That's all we do. We just make sure it works. Hold on, there's a meeting starting right now. All right, let's go to work. All right, push that button.
Okay.
Push it harder.
Okay.
Push it harder.
My mic doesn't seem to be working. Can you
Hey,
hear me?
can everybody hear me? Oh, is that
Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, then push the button on the other side. Then just push over there.
Look, I'm gonna drop and rejoin.
Okay.
Oh, wait, you can hear.
Push it.
Am I doing it right? I think I'm doing it right.
We hope so.
Cut to him after his first day on the job. He's walking home. Hey, man.
Yeah.
You want some of this candy I got?
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, man. I've been on the streets slanging candy, cigarettes,
Mm-hmm.
cheese, black market stuff, man. And I saw that you was kind of down.
Yeah, I had a rough first day at my job.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm a computer elf.
Man. Working for the man.
Yeah.
You're not gonna
I
drop.
work for Z-Man, but I got this job instead.
I work for myself in the streets.
Okay. How's that working out?
It's going well, man. Smoke as many candy cigarettes as I want a day. Go to a little elf bops around town, party all day. I might even take a kid's toy if I want, man.
Sounds like a pretty cool job.
You might have even heard about me, man. I went to the same elf school that you went to, man. Dropped out in first grade, man. It was stupid. I was the smartest kid in class. I cheated on every test. I figured if I could cheat on any test, why go to school? Why don't I just cheat the system? And that's why I'm out here right now, man. I made $50 elf for every cigarette I sell.
That's a good markup.
How much you making pushing those buttons for them old people on the computer?
I made about, with taxes now, about 20 elf dollars today.
20 elf. Now with them tight ass pants you got on and them little stupid shoes. Look at these, man. Look at this. You can't. Look. Just roll with me for one day, man. Let me just show you something different. And take them weird ass green pants off, man.
I'm gonna keep my pants on. I don't have any other pants right now. So
I mean, I got some pants. I'm not gonna let you walk around commando. Dealer, man. I got a reputation out here, man.
Oh, okay, thanks.
All right, see those old I think they're elves and the reindeer over there. See them? I want you to take this bag of peppermints. I want you to go over there and lay them under the trash can. It's gonna be 50 elf bucks under there. Grab that. Take 25 for you, and 25 back.
Just for walking there and back, pretty much. Okay.
Walking there and back, man. This is an interview. I'm just trying to show you a better life.
Okay, I'll do that.
Jingle, jingle, jingle. Elf police, elf police.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Freeze. You there, by the trash can. Freeze.
Okay.
Get down the ground.
It's a reindeer with flashing lights on top.
Hey,
Stuff out of his hand.
Ow.
What are you doing? What are you doing, huh? Moving peppermints? Moving peppermints? Is that you? What are you doing?
The guy over there.
Shut up. Shut up. What's your name?
Dude disappears across the street. This pecan of smoke.
There's nothing over there but smoke. All right, it's just you here. What's your name, Green Pants?
My name's Mike. I'm a computer elf. I'm just on my way home, and that's it. I just happened to come across this bag, and there was a guy over there, and
You're not making any sense. What I saw was a guy dropping some bag of peppermints trying to get some money. And that's what we call a crime here in the North Pole. Candy is not allowed.
I know. Look, I'm just trying to go home. Look.
Put your hands on the reindeer. Put your hands on the reindeer.
Okay, sorry.
Now, let me see. You got any ID on you?
I do.
Oh. Mike. Okay. All right. Look, Mike, I'm going to go take this back to the sleigh and enter into the computer system. Don't move.
To the computer system?
Yeah, I gotta.
Okay, yeah, I know about computers. I'm a computer elf.
You're a computer elf?
Yeah.
Yeah, my internet's been acting up. I think the internet elves have been slacking off. Can you help me out?
Yeah, I can take a look.
And scene.
Man, got real.
Did get real. Who
I
knew?
mean, it's got to be a black market elf world at North Pole. Especially since Jeff Bezos is putting Santa out of business.
Does every world have its underworld? I guess is the question, right? Is there a baking underworld that we don't know about, Kyree?
Sure there is.
It's the yes, it is. It's the underworld of people who like advertise, because a lot of people do, home businesses. They don't have a brick and mortar. So they're like, oh yeah, these are some samples of the things that I make. So they get pictures of other people's baked stuff. And so they have these glossy, nice websites or web pages or pictures of stuff. And so people are like, yeah, I want you to make my daughter's birthday cake. I want one just like this. Can you do this? Oh yeah. Go ahead and cash out the deposit, and I'll definitely, I'll bake the cake. And so people will send the money, and the person disappears, and they're never heard from again. So yeah, there is an underworld, or there's some dishonesty in the process.
Wow,
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
Of the things to pick to scam people on, cakes and desserts.
That sounds like a news story, right? Mom paid down payment for her son's cake for the soccer team, and
FBI raid on fraudster that frauded $4 million out of fake cakes.
$4 million.
Like, what? People are so creative, man. They'll try to get over on anybody in any way in the world, man.
Yep.
But man, a cake underworld.
Mm-hmm.
That reminds me, isn't there a baking group, a black baking group?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I created one basically. So it's called Black Owned Bakers of Houston. So yeah, there it is. Mm-hmm.
What inspired the idea to start that, and how's that going?
Well, I was on another site, and it was for everything, and they decided to actually increase the amount of usage for businesses that had a brick and mortar place, and decrease the amount of usage for bakers, and it's even less for those people who cook without having a brick and mortar place. So in order to get the exposure, in order for those other people who bake to get the exposure, I said, well, we need something different. And then that gives people the opportunity that if you want something baked, you can go straight to the baking site and ask for what you're looking for.
That's such a dope idea to me. You're very resilient, man. You find ways to keep it going, man.
That's the hustle in me.
That is so, man, I love that. And Tanya, she introduced us to the group, and I check it out as like you said, comments and posts. I get the notifications, and I think it's cool because, like you said, if I want something, I can go to this page, and I know I'm going to have somebody with that expertise that's going to give me a pretty good value, man. So that's dope to me.
Yeah, I like separating the bakers out from all the other food stuff, because then you don't want to have to go through all of that. You just want to say, oh, okay, let me see what this person did. Let me see what that person did. Right. Have you ever seen, I know, but have you ever seen like somebody post a picture of something and you're like, oh, you shouldn't have posted that. You probably should have worked on that a little bit more. It's not picture ready yet. It's not picture ready. If it looks like
yeah, do you guys give constructive criticism in the group?
Well, I try not to, because people are just so proud of what they do. So somebody else, if you're proud of it, then somebody else will probably be proud of it too. So I don't say anything. If that's your creation and you want it out there, you go, bless your heart, you go and do what you do. I am not saying a word.
Bless your heart.
Bless your heart.
That's what you should comment on. That's what you should comment.
If somebody asks you what you think about something they've done, and you know it's not good, like related to baking, how do you respond? Do you kind of like,
Bless your heart.
You got to put some love in that.
Yeah, well, basically, no, I'll tell people, this is really nice. You did a lot of work. I can see how much effort you put into this. However, if I may give you some advice, you shouldn't put it up until it's really, really ready. I see a couple of flaws that maybe we can get together and talk about them or something along those lines if I feel compelled to do so, because a lot of the times, people get all offended and upset and all of that.
mm-hmm, try to block you out the group?
Yeah, it is my group.
We cut to a knock on the door in the middle of the night. Hello, anybody there? Yep.
It's me. What's up?
Hey, I think your name is Leonard.
Yeah.
Look, you
It's
posted
Leonard.
Sorry, it's hard to know from text. I posted a picture of my ribs in the Rib Makers of Houston group.
Oh yeah.
And you left a comment on there about it not being ready. I wanted to talk to you about that because I didn't really appreciate that. I worked hard on those ribs. I was been going through a hard time with my family. Just got voted out Thanksgiving, and I made those ribs that night, and I was real proud of them. So I was wondering if you could just take your comment down and apologize.
Oh man, I would, but I didn't hear anything that you said that related to how the ribs look or taste, and that was my comment. It looked like your ribs were a little bit too much baby for them to be baby back ribs to me. And when I look at it compared to this gargantuan brisket rib cheese,
I don't even want to.
I'm just
That's
dude,
not even a rib anymore.
why would you even post a picture next to that dude's rib? That's all I was trying to say. Just help yourself out, man.
I've been trying to poll to get that rib banned from the group. Okay.
And since you want to tell me about your family, man, maybe you got to get your love back with your wife so that your ribs can maybe be a little bit more, on point. I mean, that's what I would say. If that's where all your issues is coming from.
Are you saying that you could see my loneliness in the picture of the ribs I posted?
I mean, you post one rib at a time, man. I mean, it's no more lonelier than that, bro. I mean, I never want to see one rib on a picture. But when I see that one rib, I immediately feel lonely. You get my point? But when I see the brisket with the cheese and the bacon and the sausage and all of that smashed together, make me think of family reunion. I want some of that.
And so he left that guy's house with this thought circling in his head, and he gets in his car and he drives to Amici, the chef from Ruth Chris' house. He knocks on the door.
Hey man, what's going on?
Hey man, I know we haven't spoken in a while, but you work at that restaurant, you make the steaks, and you got these cows in your backyard, and you seem like your marriage is holding together okay. I was wondering if I can get some advice.
Some advice for marriage?
For ribs.
For ribs? Well, it's the same advice, honestly. Get your wife some cows. Let her play them in the backyard as much as she wants. Do not bother her. And every now and then, just sneak a cow away and go and butcher it and serve it in your restaurant. But make sure you replace the cows that you take with new cows.
That actually seems a little dishonest, man. That seems like a little shady. Like you're switching out cows, hoping she doesn't notice.
Realize it. It's fine. It's all good. She just loves to have cows.
Yeah, maybe if I go to her, bring her some cows, she'll take me back, and the kids will take me back. And can I borrow some cows?
You're gonna sneak you one.
You sneak me a cow.
I'll sneak you a cow. Like when her back is turned, I'll grab one, bring it out to you. Hold on for just a second. Okay, here you go.
All right, I'm gonna put it in the back seat.
The back.
This is a judgy cow.
You have a really small car. I mean, what do you expect?
And so he's driving. He's driving to his ex-wife's place with this cow in the back seat.
I know. Kids, come over here. Come look at your daddy. I know.
I'm playing Fortnite, man.
Come over here. Your dad. Antoine, you have not paid child support in a month, and you bought a cow. You own cattle now.
This was a gift. You know, I don't have a job. You know, my house burned down. You know, I'm not accepted at my family for my ribs, but this cow is a gift, and I want to give it to you. I want you to take me back, and we could work on it.
No.
At least play with it a little bit.
Antoine Jr., come over here. Go talk to. I'm not even going on out there to talk to you, Dad. I'm not even talking about this.
What's up, Dad?
Hey, Junior. Hey.
Ribs.
Yeah, I got a rib in my pocket. You want one?
Can you take the lint off of it?
Of course. Anything for you. Have you been practicing your elf magic?
Man, I've been doing a lot of stuff lately without my dad being in the house, you know. Mom trying to hold it down. I've been working on something. Want me to show you what it is?
Sure, yeah, show me and the cow.
So I took some chopped brisket and I chopped some ribs, and then I sewed them together, and I'm going to think about making like.
You grabbed them by the shirt. No, stop talking. Stop it. Stop it.
Hey, man.
Have you been talking to your Uncle Amici?
Yeah, man. He's been stopping by, you know, checking on us. He paid your month of rent. I think we owed it to him to talk to him.
He is not to set foot near this house. This is
He paid the mortgage this month. Dad, how am I going to stop him from coming to a house where he paid the mortgage? You didn't do that.
You're right. You're right. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I didn't go to your softball games. I didn't change the rib to another meat sort of thing. I've just been doing the same thing for years and years, and I guess I got stuck, got too focused, too complacent. Started, I've been selling peppermints on the side, try to make ends meet.
Them peppermints from the North Pole, Dad? I've been
Yeah.
seeing them all over Instagram.
Yeah, you can't have any of this.
I mean, Dad, you're selling peppermints now?
I got to do what I got to do. And I just want you to know, don't go down the road I did, all right?
I did. I put the brisket and the ribs together like Uncle Michi taught me. I didn't make single ribs out of my pocket, Dad. I think I got it okay. I think you should worry about selling illegal candy from the North Pole. It's pretty dangerous, man. I mean, you're going to be locked up, Dad. I'm not going to get to see you. You won't be cooking that rib in prison?
You're right. You're so wise. Did you learn that from me? Did you get anything from me?
Uncle Michi caught me selling peppermint candy a couple weeks ago, and he sat me down and told me everything I just said to you.
Wow. Tell you what, do you have any of that brisket rib sausage with cheese on there in there?
Yeah, I got it in my pocket. You want some?
Oh, just like your dad. Yeah, can you pick the lint off of it for me?
It's gonna take some of the cheese off. If I do that,
That's all right.
It's better with the cheese. I put so much love in it that you won't actually taste the lint.
You made this?
Yeah, I made it.
He eats it. Just There's so much love in it. There's so much love.
Dad, you might be one of the worst dads of all time, but we still love you. All right?
And scene. Ended on that note. And that is the Can't Tell Us Nothing show, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Kyree, for being our special guest. Tell people where they can find you and your products.
You can find me on Instagram, www.instagram.com, KVland_Sugarlick.
Boom, boom, boom. And you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all those wonderful social places at CTUNImprov. You can also find us on YouTube. You can also find us on the Mockingbird Network, CTUNImprov. You can find us on iTunes and Spotify for podcasts. You can find us on Wednesdays at 7 and 92 KELZ. Check us out. Check out our stuff. Check out our past videos. But until then, for Tandy, for John, for Michi, for myself, Antoine, for Kyree, thank you again for your time and your stories. That is Can't Tell Us Nothing show. We are out.